Welcome back, everybody. We are here for another round of readings. I'm just gonna clear the energy real quick. We'll set the intention and then we will get started. This message is timeless. So when you stumble upon this message, just know that there's something meant for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. It's funny, I was going to say read the rest. So meaning there might be other people who could really resonate with this message. So if you feel called to, please do like, share, and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. Brought in some crystal babies today. We have a fluorite dragon. We have a quartz cluster. I don't know if you guys can see this beautiful quartz cluster here. We have an obsidian raven, because I love ravens, and she's beautiful. We also have an obsidian tower, lots of obsidian. Oh. And this crystal, what was it? It's not fluorite, it's called the healer stone. The name is not coming to my mind right now. But this is actually, it's called the Master Teacher Healer Stone. If for some reason it's not coming into my brain, but regardless, it's also very beautiful. It's kind of using it to prop up some other crystals, so I'm not gonna pick it up. All right. So I don't know if any of you, I usually never bring my crystals out, so this could be in correlation to maybe you playing with your crystals a little bit more, or even being called to get into crystal energy. For anybody who's starting out, I definitely highly recommend an amethyst crystal or just a clear quartz crystal. All right, so we've got some pretty explosive energy here. Is there anything else? So tell me one more time, and then we will get started. All right. All right, so straight off the bat, we have Queen of Swords in reverse. Who's this? The Lovers and the Knight of Cups. Okay. So some of us could actually be questioning a relationship. You could be questioning whether or not somebody has feelings for you, or if those feelings are being reciprocated. So that's clearly been on your mind at this point. Or this could even be pointing towards you being stuck in between following your head and your heart, right? So if you're in the middle, the Lover's card, this is you, our major arcana, you have a choice. So you're either choosing to follow your head or follow your heart. But it feels like a lot of you are being guided now at this time to almost regulate your thoughts and align them, because you're seeing that your thought patterns, one, are not mirroring exactly what your heart wants, but two, are also kind of pushing you away from getting what it is that you want, okay? So that's very interesting that we're literally stuck in the middle. We're literally stuck right in the middle. All right, what else came through? Okay. For some of us, this could literally be counterpart energy, because we have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands coming out. And what this is showing, the way that it came out, it's showing us that you have been, so they want us to reference us being stuck in the middle again, right? So if this is us right in the middle, we're facing actually the King of Wands. So we're facing and giving to more of our masculine creative potential, which is beautiful, right? And it's always good to have a good balance of the masculine and feminine, but I feel like for a lot of you in this collective, you have been utilizing your feminine energy, but you're kind of now gearing towards kicking yourself into overdrive, so to speak. And even though we're winding down the year, right? Because a lot of times when it comes to like the end of the year, people start to wind down and create resolutions for the next year. No, what it feels like is like you're still going in high gear. Like you have so many projects, so many things that you need to do, and you are just literally pushing through them, standing in that masculine energy and getting things accomplished. But remember to pat yourself on the back for it, because you're not actually seeing how much you're accomplishing. You have been so hyper focused on making sure the tasks that you're delegating or taking over are accomplished, that like after you cross it off, you're like on to the next one. You're forgetting to like congratulate yourself for completion. So that's very important for some of you. A lot of us are also allowing the divine to guide us through this tower moment that we just had. So this tower moment happened in the last 2 weeks. It's showing that this tower moment could have dealt with like a heated argument. Like you may have had a heated argument with somebody regarding like where you're at or where things are at in the relationship. But there was a tower moment that happened, but you have recognized that this tower moment was brought on for a greater purpose. You realize this tower moment happened so that you and this other person, or you and these people involved, or even just you, they're highlighting like you and your own personal growth, like, but I'm also seeing you like with your own business, your own tools, your own projects, right? Like you're allowing the divine to move through those projects with you. And there are some projects that, you know, you've completed, some projects you're in the process of completing, and projects that you have in the future, but you're just allowing yourself to go at a pace that's natural, right? You're not, if you're being called to do something, you're doing it. Like if you've started a project, you're going to start that project and you may take a break from it because you're being called to take a break from it. And then you're going to step into another one. And they want you to know, like, you being called to take a break from that project is very important. And by you taking that break, you're following divine guidance. So good on you for that. But they're highlighting again this tower moment that happened. It was like some type of heated argument. I'm hearing like fire sign energy. I'm also seeing like air and earth energy. So they could have been a fire sign. You could be a fire sign, right? Vice versa. The signs don't really much matter, but that's just being highlighted. So somebody out there is kind of being like, well, my person is this. Does this apply? So that's why that's being said. But this was a balancing act that had to happen. And you realize like this tower moment happened to help balance the energy within that situation. So keep going with that and keep surrendering to that. But it was like a blessing in disguise, so to speak. I just heard spirit animals. So a lot of you could be seeing synchronicities in regards to like specific animals that have been like popping up in your mind or even like on your For You page. I heard like water element animals. So whether it's like actual fish, it could be ethereal animals like mermaids. It could be dolphins, whales, right? Of crabs. I'm also seeing starfish. But there's something in regards to like water spirit animals that either you've been thinking about or they've been showing themselves to you, and they have a particular essence to them that you're being called to look into, so to speak. So if this resonates for you, please, they're asking you, check out the metaphysical meanings of those water elementals, but then also see what energy is tied to them in regards. They're highlighting more financial stuff. Okay, so it has to do with your finances, but also like interpersonal relationships. So there's some answers that you're going to receive from looking up the energy of those water animals in regards to finances and interpersonal relationships. That's very specific. Very specific. A lot of you are also accessing your inner child, which is beautiful. I really feel like this season is highlighting this energy for you. They're showing me like the Christmas lights. So when you see those Christmas lights, you literally like light up inside. So utilize that creative potential with that energy and access that when moving forward in your projects. A lot of us have also done a butt ton of inner work. Like, you are finally allowing yourself to shine your authentic light, and you're not allowing yourself to be caught up in the expectations of others and the emotions of others, because you've gone inwardly to recognize where these patterns are coming from and where they're stemming from. So they really want to applaud you for that. And they want to highlight again, when it comes to this type of like self-discovery and growth, go back to your inner child. And every time you have these sense, like the sense of like, oh, my Lanta, like it's 1:44 on the clock. This sense of like spiritual downloads, like insight, revelations, right? When you have those revelations about yourself, remember to bring that energy into all areas of your life, but also all levels of your consciousness. Okay? And they're really highlighting bringing this revelation that you have had recently to yourself as a child. I heard between the ages of 9 and 12, but also 5 and 7. So it's 9 and 12 for some groups, and then 5 and 7 for other groups. Okay? Because there were significant foundational shifts that happened in those age ranges. And you are finally being called to, and some of you are being called to, but some of you have already had those revelations about what you're holding on to. So now just bring that consciousness of that revelation to your younger self to help clear it from your energy field even further. And they're also saying when you do this, you actually help imprint it into the DNA of your family as well. So then you free your family line, right? Those ancestral wounds that we have, you help to free your family line from that as well. So just keep doing that. Okay. So very important for somebody out there, or it could be a large portion of you guys. So my eyes are going towards this tower moment. I want to see what this tower moment. So what came out right away was the devil in reverse, right? And the devil card, it's not a scary card. It just means attachments. So the tower moment has to do with attachments, and these attachments have to do with us blocking ourselves from our own growth. Okay, because we have the 7 of Pentacles and it was in reverse, right? So the 7 of Pentacles upright speaks of us recognizing all of our fortune, all of our labor, all of our hard work. We're like seeing the fruits of our labor, right? But then we also recognize other opportunities, and we're allowing ourselves to see other opportunities for growth and expansion. So when it's in reverse, this is showing us that our attachments were actually blocking us from viewing ourselves in the proper light, because it's very material, right? So it's how we view ourselves. It's very root chakra, but it's also interpersonal relationships. And it was hindering us from seeing the possibilities of expansion, either within a relationship specifically or within yourself. Okay? So that tower moment was directly tied to you recognizing where you were holding those attachments so that you can work through that, right? So that you are no longer in the dark, in this mental prison, in this emotional prison, okay? You're no longer blinded by it. You are able to see. Okay, messenger card, page of swords. Pages are always messengers. You were able to see where you were keeping yourself out in the cold. And once you had that realization, you utilized that and turned it into a gift. Okay? You gifted this consciousness not only to yourself, but those around you, especially your family line. But now we have to bring that level of consciousness and awareness back to our inner child. And I want you to bring that level of consciousness and awareness to all planes of existence, all dimensions, all timelines, all incarnations that your soul has ever had. Let's go above and beyond. Like, cool, we can heal this life, but like, why not heal more? Why not? Why not, right? Why not release ourselves fully from all the burdens that have ever took us to the ground? I know you're ready for it. That's why it's coming up. Okay? But us recognizing the reasons why this is happening is because we have had a shift in perspective. Right? When we're shifting from victim mentality, that changes our perspective. That allows us to view things from a higher perspective. So the hanged man essentially is just telling us like, oh, we had to see things from a better perspective because then we were able to work through them, right? We were able to recognize how this tower moment that happened to us actually happened for us to free us from what it is that we were still holding on to. But if you would have remained in this state of like, oh, this is happening to me, right? Then you're still in that victim mentality. But then once you flip your perspective around and you're like, oh, this is actually happening for me. This is happening so I can free myself from this, right? Then you step into Empress. And like, you guys literally can't make this up because right behind this Empress card is what? The World card. That's you completing a major chapter. Okay? So like, this is absolutely gorgeous. So for some, here's your confirmation. Like, yes, that happened. Yes, it was terrible. But yes, it also was for your highest good. Okay? And then if you're able to then go a step above and then start recognizing like, oh, I signed up for this because I wanted to help my soul learn something, free itself from trauma, free my family line from trauma. Once you're able to then get to that next level, everything just makes total sense. And then you are literally no longer holding on to any past emotions. Like, you literally free yourself and are able to stand fully in your authority and in your authenticity. Because you've done the work to go inside, and you also trust that the divine is always behind it all and that you are a part of the divine, right? The divine is not separate from you at all. You are literally a part of the divine, but you have a choice. You have a choice whether or not you're going to choose to accept that information, anchor it into you as a firm knowing, and then start living through that. Or you have the choice of just being like, yeah, sounds good. So what's up with the jets? You know what? Like, I don't know, like whatever people talk about. Okay. Sorry, that was probably a terrible example, but that is the only thing that my brain could think of at this very moment. But it just goes to show, like, you go from a divine mentality, a strong mentality, a consciousness of like one, consciousness of source, consciousness of God. Like, you can either live from that energy and perspective and consciousness, or you can live from the small mind, human ego. I gotta fucking make sure that I get everything that I need today. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. Like, it's all about me, survival, blah, blah, right? So like, you have the choice between the two. You always have the choice. You always have the choice. And some of you, congratulations, you're recognizing this. And you're seeing that you yourself are literally a part of the divine. And that you have the power to bring miracles to other people's lives. And that you yourself are literally an angel in human form. So thank you for those that are doing that. Thank you. The world needs it, especially now. Like, the world needs it so much, more than you realize. Because this spiritual warfare that's happening is literally real. Like, it's no joke. Like, it's no joke. Okay. Well, let us see. I'm just going to gather all these and just see if there's any final messages that want to come through. For those of you that are hopping on like later into the reading, I will be posting this on my YouTube channel. I will just post a snippet of it on TikTok, but I think like, you know, supposedly TikTok might get shut down. So, you know, I got to start like bridging. We all got to bridge. We all have to be the bridge for everybody, but we also have to be the bridge for ourselves, right? So yeah, I'll be posting this on my YouTube page. So yeah, Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Any final messages, final bits of advice, or even actually, let's see what we have to look forward to. That's always fun. All right. Wow. So I just got like crazy chills. It started like, it was weird in the back of my neck, like back of my throat, and then just stopped right above my heart. So what a lot of you are going to be experiencing in the next couple of weeks have to do with like your heart really being opened, but you also standing in your authority and your power and speaking what it is that your heart knows to be true as true, and not being afraid of projections that other people might be placed upon you after that. Like after you say what it is that you need to say. So good on you. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Even though you wouldn't be able to see it really, you would keep your feelers open for that, so to speak. All right. So our final advice. Okay. First and foremost, keep fighting the good fight. Okay? Keep fighting the good fight. But at the same time, I'm hearing like resist not evil, right? Which basically means we're not going to place judgment upon anything that happened to us and label it as good or bad. We're going to simply accept it for what it was and release it and move on. Okay? Your final advice, 2 of Cups with the Empress. Keep allowing yourself to choose being the highest version of you. Okay? Anchor in the highest level of consciousness, the highest level of love, the highest level of God, the highest level of the angelic realm. Anchor that into every single little thing that you do. Everything. I don't care if you're brushing your teeth. I don't care if you're making yourself a snack. I don't care if you're driving to the gas station. I don't care if you're driving home from work. Anchor the consciousness, love, energy of God, the angels, your highest self, your creative power, like you, whatever you consider as a higher power than you, anchor that into everything that you're doing and continue to choose to do that. Continue to choose to do that, okay? More advice going forward. It is going to take bouts of strength, right? There's going to be times where you're going to question yourself during this process, and that's okay. Totally okay. I question myself every day. I feel like it's probably not healthy if you're not questioning yourself, right? You probably should question yourself a little bit. Should it be like overdone where you're like, oh my God, should I have done this? Should I have done this? Should I have done this? Should I have worn this? Should I have said this? No. Okay. But if you're having some sort of self-reflection throughout the day, like, hey, why did I get so upset when so-and-so said this to me? What part of me is being triggered by that? Okay. That's healthy. Okay. That is healthy. So if that happens to you, good job, because you're great. Like you're well off more than a lot of the population. So good job. Okay. But just know that you will question yourself, but don't allow yourself to be so enthralled in your questioning where it gets you riled up into a state of fight or flight, stress, anxiety, worry, doubt, fear, okay? Those are the emotions that we want to have strength over, okay? Those are the emotions that we want to show like, you're not in control. That was an old version of me, and I'm done with that now, and that's okay. All right? All right. Final set of advice. I know we got a lot of advice here, but that's okay. Your final bit of advice. Be proud of yourself for all the work that you've done, okay? Because you have walked away from a lot of people who've hurt you. You've walked away from a lot of situations that have hurt you, whether it's family, friends, relationships, okay? you've walked away from old versions of yourself. So take stock, okay? This is telling us, remember in the beginning when I said that, yes, you're crossing off all these all these projects and you're doing it, but you're not actually recognizing all the work that you've done. This is your reminder. Be proud of yourself for how far you've come. It's okay to be proud of yourself. Like, it's good to show yourself kindness. It's good to show yourself appreciation. That's a good thing. You're allowed to do that. Okay? So keep continuing to move past what no longer serves you. And as you move past, do not look back. Right? Because you know you're moving towards higher versions of yourself, higher versions of healing, higher versions of love, higher versions of relationships with yourself and with others. Keep continuing to do so. But be proud of yourself for how far you've come. Okay, my loves? All right, I love you. Like I said, I will post this on my YouTube if you joined in late and you want to rewatch it. If you feel called to share it, please share it. You know, there are some people that I'm not connected to, obviously because I don't have that big of a following, but there are people out there that really need to hear this message but may not know me, so may not have a way to. So if you could like, share, subscribe, totally appreciated. Any small bit of gesture helps. You know, it's an energy exchange. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night, wherever it is that you are, whenever it is that you're listening to this, and I'll see you soon. Okay, love you. Bye.